Hello, home bosses. Last Monday, I shared a free tool that turns your book into a flip-through video, and so many of you have already used it. Over 400 of you signed up to get the tool, and I received so many lovely emails, and some of you are seeing real results, especially on TikTok. So today I want to help you take it one step further. I will show you how to make your video stand out and how to help the right people find it. So we're going to look at three things: how to add a few nice touches in Canva so that your video looks more your own, and what to write as your caption with examples for different book types, and how to choose your hashtags made really simple. So let's get started. First of all, let's make your video your own. And if you haven't watched my last video, go and take a look, because it explains exactly what you have to do to create your video. And once you've got this video, you can then post it on social media and promote your books for free. So watch the video. It's only a few steps. You just upload your front cover and your interior or part of your interior, and it creates the whole video for you, and then you can customize it. And that's what I want to show you now. So once you've made your flip through and downloaded it, you can bring it into Canva and add a few simple touches. You don't need to do a lot, just a couple of small things can really lift it. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So let me show you how you can customize your video in Canva. And like I said, if you haven't watched my last video, I recommend you do watch that so you know how to use the book flip through video creator, and it's really easy, and it's worth customizing it a little bit in Canva to make it even better looking. We're on Canva now, and I'm just going to choose the kind of video that I want to create. So let's go on to videos. And they are different sizes, so you really want to choose the right size for you. So imagine you've created your video and you want to post it on Facebook. So we're going to choose this Facebook video, and I click on that. And if you've created your video in the book flip through video creator, you can download it to your computer and then upload it to Canva. So I've done that already, and I'll just quickly upload my video that I created. So I created a video of my book, The Positivity Switch. I quickly show you what that looks like. So it's basically showing the cover, and then it's created a flip through of the interior. And this is what we want to customize. So if you're using the video creator, then this is what your book will look like. Obviously, it will be your book. And we want to add maybe music or maybe a voiceover and maybe something to make it look more interesting. So that's why we've put it on Canva. So what I like to do now is I go at the beginning, and then what I like to do is I go on elements. And you can choose elements here and add them to your video. I think I showed you that a little bit in the last video I created. But I also found another way to do it, and I just want to show you. So what we want to do now is we want to generate something to decorate this video. So what I'm going to use is Canva's AI. And what I'm going to say is, can you create a decorative frame that uses the colors and design of this image on a transparent background. And then what I have to do is I have to upload the cover of my book, because I want the image to be based on that. So I click upload. So that's my book cover uploaded. And then the other thing we need to do, and this is important, otherwise it won't generate anything useful go onto this drop down menu and select graphics, because if you don't do that, it just generates an image and they don't really work for this. So let's see what happens. Here we are. So let's try this one. And it's placed it in front of the video, so let's put it on top of the video. Let's see, let me play this and see what it looks like. So I think this looks a lot prettier already than just the plain book. So we can then extend it over the whole video. So I think that looks much prettier, and you can add things to it, and you can probably even move it about. Seems to be 2 of them on there. That's better. So yes, I think that looks good. So you can play with this and even turn it around if that's better for you. So you can really play with this if you want. This is just to show you what you can do. So we start again from the beginning. I think I would probably move this up a little bit. Right. That looks better. So it's up to you. You can use one of the other frames as well if you want. So, or you could even regenerate it and create it again. But this is just to show you what you can do. And then you can also add music to it. So for music, you can download your own music, or you can upload Canva music. Just make sure that you have got the license for it. It's copyright free music. And that should help. So if you're using Canva's music, for example, let's go on audio. And you can see what I've used recently. So we can probably use any of those. And then what you do is you just grab it and place it under the video. And then you can just listen to it and see if it's any good. But it would be better if you don't use the ones with the crown, which are premium. So you could filter by free music and use those. Or you can download your own music. I use a website called Upbeat where I can pay for the music and then I get the license to use that. You can do something like that. But there's plenty of free music available, and Instagram has its own music library and TikTok has as well. So you can use any of their music. And that is a way to customize your video. You can also just add elements. If you click on elements and you just want to add something like a bow or something like that. I mean, obviously, I think the frame looks a lot better, but you could do something like that. And another thing someone asked me is, can they make the book bigger in the video? You could do that by double-clicking on the page and just dragging the sides out a little. So you could do that, but then check that your cover is also within the space. So this looks a little bit too big to me, but you could change the size of it that way if you wanted to, and then just double click and drag it back in again. So there are so many ways to customize your video. You could even use some of these ready-made frames and place them on your video. So that would look something like this. It's completely up to you. Obviously, match it to whatever your book is. If it's an activity book, you want a different type of frame. There are so many in Canva itself that you can choose, but like I said, you could also create your own that matches your book cover with the AI in Canva. And I would definitely spend a little bit of time customizing this. You could also place text on it. That's the other thing you can do. And yeah, just make your video look really pretty. Some of you have sent me emails with your little videos and they look absolutely amazing. And I can see why you've had so many clicks on your posts, and hopefully that will help sell your book as well. So this is a really good way of making your videos stand out. And hopefully the more you post about your books, the more people will see your books. Now let's talk about captions. First, let me explain what I mean by caption, because the word gets used in a couple of ways and it can be a bit confusing. When I say caption, I mean the words you write to go with your video when you post it. On TikTok, Instagram or Facebook, when you upload a video, there's a box where you type a little message. And that message is your caption. It sits next to or underneath your video, and it is the first thing people read. There's also a second kind, which is the text placed on top of the video itself. A line of words across the screen as it plays. You can add that in Canva if you like. It's a nice touch, but it's optional. So there are two places the words can go. One is the message that you type in the post box, and the other is text on the video itself. You can use one or both. Today I'm mainly talking about the message that you type when you post, because that is the one everybody needs. This is the bit where a lot of people get stuck. You have your lovely video, you go to post it, and then you don't know what to write in that box. So the video sits there unused. I often have that problem. I just never know what to write for my posts. So let's fix that. A good caption is short. One line is plenty. It either asks a question or it gives a little peek so people want to stop and look. Some people talk about it as a hook. You want to hook the people that are watching your video in. So here's a simple way to think about it. Say what the book is and give people a reason to be curious. Let me give you some examples for different types of books. For a puzzle book, you could write, "Can you solve it? Here's a peek inside my new puzzle book." For a children's book, you could say, "The bedtime story your little one will ask for again and again." For a coloring book, you could say, "Grab your pencils, here's a look inside my new coloring book." For a journal or a planner, you could say, "The planner I always wished I had. Take a look inside." And what could you say for an activity book? Well, you could say, "Hours of fun, here's what's inside." So you don't have to be really clever about it. You just have to be clear and give people a reason to look. Pick the one that fits your book, change a few words to make it yours, and you're done. And here's a handy little bonus. The same line you write as your caption can also be the text that you put on the video in Canva. So you can write it once and use it in both places if you want to. So I've put these captions on the screen so you can either pause or slow the video down so you can copy them. And now let's talk about hashtags. Before we start, let me explain what a hashtag actually is in case you're new to this, because it's a lot simpler than it sounds. A hashtag is just a word or two with a little hash symbol in front of it and no spaces. So it looks like this, hashtag puzzle books, for example. Think of it like a label that you stick on your post. When you add a hashtag, you're telling the app what your video is about, and that helps the app to show it to people who are interested in that topic. It also works a little bit like a folder. When someone taps a hashtag or searches for it, they see a lot of videos with that same label. So a good hashtag helps the right people find your book. You might see some funny looking words like BookTok, Bookstagram, or BookTube. Let me clear these up because they confuse a lot of people. These are not separate websites. I know some people have asked me, is BookTok different to TikTok? And it's not. You don't need to join anything new. They are simply the nicknames for the book-loving corner of each app. BookTok is the book community on TikTok, basically book plus TikTok. It's just people who love books sharing them on TikTok. Bookstagram is the book community on Instagram, book plus Instagram, and BookTube is the book community on YouTube, book plus YouTube. So when you add the hashtag BookTok to your video on TikTok, you are simply saying this is a book video or this is a video about a book, and you're putting it where the book lovers gather. That's all it means. So people that are interested in books, they type in BookTok, and that means that they can find your post about your book. So now we know what they are. Here's the mix I like. One broad hashtag, so your book sits in a big topic, one or two that are specific to your type of book, and one of those community hashtags like BookTok where readers gather. Let me show you how that looks. For a puzzle book, you could use hashtag puzzle books, hashtag Sudoku, hashtag brain teasers, hashtag BookTok. That's if you're posting on TikTok. If you were posting on Instagram, then instead of BookTok, you would use Bookstagram. For a children's book, you could use hashtag kids book, hashtag children's books, hashtag read aloud, hashtag BookTok. And of course, if you're posting this in YouTube as a YouTube short, you would use hashtag BookTube. Can you see a pattern? So I use a broad hashtag, a couple of specific ones, and a community one. And that's all you have to do. A couple of quick tips though. Match the community hashtag to the app you're posting on. Use BookTok on TikTok, Bookstagram on Instagram, and BookTube on YouTube. Hashtags do most of their work on TikTok and Instagram. They matter less on Facebook, so don't worry about them there. And it's worth changing a couple each time you post so you can see what works best for your books. So you can slow the video down or stop the video to see them on the screen, and you can copy them for your own books. So there you have it, a few touches in Canva, a simple caption, and a handful of hashtags. That's all it takes to give your book video the best chance of being seen. So here's what I would love you to do this week. Make one video, add your caption and hashtags, and post it. Just one, see how it feels. And if you make one you're proud of, do come and show me. It honestly makes my day to see what you create. And if you want to go deeper with all of this, promoting your books and building your publishing business, that is exactly what we do together inside the Home Boss Publishing Academy. But this little tool is yours to enjoy either way as my thank you for being here. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope this was helpful. Take care of your business and take care of yourself. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.